Hello and welcome back to something where a group of agrophobic friends come together to RP actually going outside. I'm your humble dungeon master, Andy Purcell, and this is once again our group of hapless heroes. Say hello again, hapless heroes.
Hello, hapless heroes.
Last we left off, we are at the front of the line of the carousel. Before you, the fairgoers have hopped on, and you see before you what appears to be a centaur who is manipulating the carnival ride to let it go.
I'd let her manipulate me.
And the
As you're saying
That's
that,
PG-13.
you pat the side of your pocket, Thunder Stout, and you happen to notice something kind of odd stuffed into your belt. As you begin patting, you notice a stick. Oh yeah, it's that prestidigitation one. No, wait a minute. This is my prestidigitation one. This is a different one. I'm not quite sure what it does.
Avada-kedavra!
As you say that, the wand immediately snaps straight towards the centaur. And right behind her, you can see, like it's between her legs, and it's pointing at the carousel. You can tell it's pointing right at what looks to be like the trapdoor mechanism to like repair underneath it if need be. And then the pressure slackens as the wand's energy dissipates.
Oh. Wand of fire traps.
About this time, this lady begins clapping as you are pointing aggressively pointing a wand at her. This lady walks up. You see a name tag upon her. It says Deanna. She says, "Well, that's quite good wand skills you have there. You think you could not point it at me, sir?"
I'm so sorry. It has a mind of its own. It just points in directions. It has no abilities, as far as I know.
Well, you know, just you could stab. You could put somebody's. You don't throw it. You know, maybe put like a wrist thing on there. You can give me either perception or insight checks.
I'm gonna go with insight.
And she lets out a big sigh.
19.
8.
Okay.
19.
As she kind of gives out a half-hearted joke, you know, talking to you guys, she gives out a sigh, and she just kind of kicks her back hooves a little bit, and you kind of notice there's a bit of sadness behind her eyes as she's just watching the carousel just kind of half-heartedly go around. It seems like in this lively place, this seems to not have quite the shine as it used to have. This seems to be slightly and not as much upkeep as the rest of the park. The carousel keeps going round and round. She just looks at her at the time. And she just seems sort of bored. If there's anything you want to do or say or do while you're waiting.
I want to ride the carousel.
Well, of course you want to ride the carousel, Deanna says. You gotta wait till I turn it off.
I mean, I rolled 8, so I didn't see her be sad at all.
I'll just look around to see if we got
He's saying that
anything
we should talk.
following us.
We should
Like,
talk.
hanging around us, listening.
He's giving us our moment.
Yeah, you give me perception checks.
Well, while they're doing that, do I have an idea of what this wand is?
Well, you tried to do a thing and it's done a thing, unless you have some magical way of identifying it. After a short rest.
Look at arcane.
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
Or arcana. I meant. 18 plus 3, 21.
Okay. In thinking about how generically you said what you said and what it did and what it pointed to, you feel that this is something that a lot of people would love to have their hands on. This quite possibly might be, as you're looking at it, you kind of notice a little bit of, it's a nice, old, rich oak, right? It's almost got like a hum and a smell to it. It's really nice, right? It smells really great. And you can tell at the end of it a little bit of filigree. That seems kind of like a scribble that could really be a really long name that started with an E and started with a, maybe a T, right? And this might possibly be a wand of secrets. And if you use it correctly, it will point to any secret door or trap within its range. And I'll just go ahead and give to you that you'll find out in time. It's got 3 charges on it. And it gets, I want to say 1d3 charges back at the beginning of each dawn.
I rolled a 20 on perception.
As you're looking around, you see this carousel. The unicorns on it are going up and down. Their motion is mechanical. You see the fairgoers enjoying themselves. They're mostly kids. There's probably 4 people on this thing. Behind each of the 2 sets of unicorns is a mural. One of them, they seem kind of cartoonish. You see one that seems like it's like a before and after picture on the mural, and you see like someone who it looks like they're charging forward boldly, and in the next scene, like they're on a pile of gold, right? And on the next mural, you see someone who is standing on a pile of gold with their hands on their hips and their chin raised up high, with everyone else around them looking down. And in the next scene, all of the gold is tumbling down a crevasse with that person as they're falling. Okay. As the next one goes by, you see a hill with several large stones covered in moss and vines grabbing onto them. And in the next part, there is a boulder tumbling down it. And in the last one, you see what looks like the sky in some representation of the time itself being unraveled, and a large stitch of thread into it as it catches several hourglasses on that one in the next part. And as this ride ends up coming to a stop, the carnival worker, Diana, opens up the gate and lets the 4 patrons off and looks at the rest of you. You turn around and you see that there's not really anybody else there. What would you like to do?
Do we actually want to ride it?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's ride it.
Yeah, well, Deanna looks at you and says, yeah, I was gonna do some work on it, but, I mean, we could, I can crank it up again, if you guys wanted to help. I was just gonna do some touch-ups. Really, it's,
Yeah.
things are wearing off. You know, she's got this jar of like paint. It's gold paint, and she says, I was just some of the names on the horses were worn off from people holding on to them too rough. They kind of, they kind of lose their enchantments if you don't know their names. But
I mean,
that's how things work around here, am I right? And if you don't follow the rules, again, she trails off, kind of coughing a little bit. And so she says, if you guys want to, help out, it'd be great. The names are up there. I can't really tell you the names, but if you can figure them out, you'll get to have quite a fun conversation.
So, if they're magical, is that an Arcana check?
It could be. Is there anything you'd like to ask her about, or talk to her, or mention to her, before she just kind of gets you to do some work for her?
Why don't you seem as chippery as all the other not attendants, but you seem more down, even more down than the mime.
Oh yeah. Oof. At least I can talk.
My type of girl.
Yeah.
One that can talk.
Unfortunately, whereas some would say he's half the man he used to be, I ended up becoming twice the woman I used to be. She looks down, waving a hand over the rest of her horse body.
Were you not always a centaur?
No, not a centaur. Not a centaur. I was a human. I lost my war horse, and I made a deal with a lady.
The worst
And
type of
she
deals.
kind of rolled me over the coals on the specifics of it, and I was reunited with my war horse.
Ah,
I just thought you
Yeah.
was native.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's, I really, every time this out, and as she starts to say something, she begins to cough, as she just spits on the ground, real quick, and clears her throat. And says, right, these unicorns, just look at the names, you'll figure it out. And so, whenever you go up there, right, which set of unicorns, like, is there any particular set of unicorns? I had named off some murals earlier.
I'll do the last mural.
As you guys walk up, you notice that the name tags, like of the pairs, one of them seems to still be intact, and one of them has a few letters kind of worn off. We'll go to the last one in the pair, and you noticed, there was the mural of like the sky with a stitch of thread tying it together, and in the next scene, it's several hourglasses caught within that stitch. Is there anything you'd like to do before give me a perception check?
Yeah, with that.
Natural 20.
natural 1.
You notice there are 9 hourglasses caught within this stitch. Okay, and so you look at the nameplates, and one of them says Stitch, but the other one only has 4 spaces on it, and the third letter is N.
N or
Yeah.
M?
N.
N. Oh, God.
And if you want to write that in 4 spaces and then letter N. And if anybody wants to try to help with that, they can.
I think we'll probably get done faster if we did.
If you guys want to look at another set, I'll say that you look at the first one,
That's what I
the
was going
one
to.
of the man charging forth, walking forth very boldly. He's walking forth, and the next scene, he's standing on a mountain of gold, right?
Yeah.
And on this unicorn, these 2 unicorns, you see one of them is named Fortune, and one of them has a 4-letter name that starts with B. You see, you're next to the mural of the man who is standing on a pile of gold with his hands on his hips and his chin raised while everybody else is looking down. And in the next scene, everything is falling in a crevasse, including him. And the 2 names you see is Fall, a 4-letter word, and then a 5-letter word. The first 2 letters are PR. And then, finally, for Delana, you see the mural of a hillside with 2 large stone boulders covered in moss and vines. And then in the next one, rolling past them is a boulder clear. It is just solid rock tumbling past. And you see two name tags. One of them is stone, and the other is 4 letters. The first letter is M, the last letter is S.
So what were you said the first two of mine are again?
PR.
PR, thank you. Fall PR.
Can I try a history check on mine to see if I can?
Certainly, any kind of ideas? Just any
9. Okay.
good idea. Good idea. Give me a history check with advantage.
So, I still got another one. Let me just check. 15 plus 18.
You do remember a proverb, "A stitch in time saves time." So if you would like, you can use the gold paint to fill in the name tag with N-I and E to make 9 if you like. What about you guys? You can make a roll if you need to like a history check.
What was yours?
No, going with the hourglasses and the stitch.
Well, that's the name of it?
Yeah, stitch. So,
Stitch.
mine is just not letter word.
I'm going to have to try to make a history check.
Right, so remember, one of them has a person walking forward, wearing a shirt, and the next one is standing on a pile of gold. And one of them's name is Fortune, and the other one starts with B. It's a 4-letter word. You can make a history check,
I'm gonna make a history check.
okay?
That's an 8.
8. This seems to be kind of difficult to figure out. You don't really remember this type of story being told to you at the moment.
No.
Let's move on.
So, like I said, since it's an enchanted,
Uh-huh.
can I use the Arcana check?
Sure, I'll give you an Arcana check.
11 plus 3, 14.
14. This, trying to decipher, with the 14, you grasp that if you paint these runes correctly using this paint, it re-ups the enchantment. But as Arcana, it doesn't quite allow you to figure out what the riddle is supposed to be right away. So at the moment, you can't quite figure this out. You're very close. But at the moment, it seems we've got 1 success. 2 of you guys are still a little tough figuring it out. What about you? And we guys can talk it out if you want to.
That's what we've been doing.
So fortune and a 4-letter word that starts with.
I'm figuring yours is bold.
You know, honestly, that makes a lot of sense.
Fortune favors bold.
I'll leave it up to you if you write that down as the
Yeah.
name. What about Delana? Oh, what about you?
How many letters did you say
It
the...
is a 5-letter word. PR blank blank blank.
And what was the word beside that?
Pride. I write
Yeah, I was
pride.
thinking it's pride.
Okay, we've got one more.
Pride comes before the
We've
fall.
got a
Yeah.
boulder. We've got boulders and a third boulder tumbling down a hill. We've got a unicorn named Stone.
What's
And a
yours?
unicorn, that's a 4-letter word, starts with an M, ends with an S.
Mass.
Mhm.
I said M or N?
M. Like
M.
monkey.
Right, I'll give you guys perception checks if you want to look at the mural one more time.
Well, I'm gonna.
And then
Moss.
It laid down.
Moss.
Oh yeah, moss would be a good one too.
Well,
Mine's only a 16.
I'm
Okay.
gonna. I'm
Yeah,
gonna. I'm
you
gonna.
notice
Wait.
that
I'm
the
gonna
2
assist you.
stones that are stationary are covered in moss and vines, and the one that is rolling has no moss. And with a 16, it's a perception check. You notice at the very bottom, is a little tag that says a rolling stone gathers no moss.
Yeah.
It actually says it at the bottom if you read them all.
Yeah.
Fortune
So-
favors the bold. So bold.
And pride is always before the
Right
fall.
before the fall.
I figured that one out on my own, though.
Yep. And so as you guys write the names onto each of the 4 unicorns that have theirs missing, they seem to magically come to life in that moment. They're not wild because they do have a pole in their back, but when that happens, Deanna, noticing this happen, says, "Oh, it looks like these rides need to go under maintenance for a little bit longer, am I right? Sorry folks," as she waves to nobody there. "It looks like we're gonna have to be down for a little bit longer." And she puts a big sign over the front that says, "Ride closed, sorry," right? And just sort of kind of clops over to the side. "Y'all have fun chit-chatting. I'll be..." as she just walks off.
Wait.
As she does that, you hear behind you in your minds, all of you have telepathic group chat between the 4 of you and 8 chatty unicorns.
Oh,
Love to talk. You hear a whole gossip
Hi
going
there,
on.
my name's Charlie.
They just became animated to you. This conversation has been going on for a long time, and you're way behind in it. So if you want to try to make some mess of it, you can. However, if you want to just jump into this chatty, gossipy, telepathic conversation, feel free. What would you like to do?
Let's get off the carousel so we can talk and come up with a plan.
You want to leave the chatty unicorns?
What do you want to do?
I mean, I thought we fixed it.
Yeah, we fixed it. That's why they're talking.
Oh, they fixed it all right. Oh, they fixed it. Boy, my name is certainly the best. Look how shiny it is. He used 2 coats on mine. Oh, hush, you bold. Listen, if you have to keep talking about that, well, I am bold, aren't I? They just keep laughing away about all sorts of different things. What would you like? Do you want to try to leave from this, or do you want to chat these unicorns up?
I'll chat for just a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We'll see what they're talking about.
Okay.
So what's the gossip around this place?
What's the gossip around this place? Well,
What's good and juicy?
geez, first of all, how about the Candlefoot? Am I right? That darn bird's been going back and forth. Kettle Steam, right? That's her name? Surprised no one has seen her yet.
How do they
I'm
know
sure they'll figure it
How
out.
do they know her name?
Oh, man. You hear a lot around here whenever you don't talk.
Mm.
Yeah.
Be careful what you think, folks, because you're feeding the beast.
Sorry. Oof. What exactly do you know about Kettlestein?
Oh, man. Isn't she, right? She's Sabina's one of her runners, right? That poor lady. And you hear one chiming in the back. Wasn't she the one that got frozen? Like, yeah. That poor girl, Sabina, the big one, right? Yeah.
How did she get frozen and where at?
You know those coven ladies. What's
Hags?
The hourglass or something like that?
Yeah, of course the Hourglass Coven. What's about you and like you kind of like they're all horses. They're carousels, so like you can't see all of them, but the ones that you're talking to are looking at you, but you're hearing the conversation telepathically as a group, and so like one of them looks at around and you're like, yeah, like oh Delana. No. Ooh, you're the one with the it's a music box. Looks like a snail. Yeah. that was Skabatha. Yeah, they're here in the back. Skabatha, she's the one that took that one. And so you hear them just rattling off all sorts of juice. You hear Skabatha, Nightshade.
Something major has
she-
happened.
Listen.
What?
Yeah, they
What?
really did.
By the way, you know what? Oh, what did I say? Oh,
And it was.
about and like they start fighting over who gets to tell you more juice about Skabatha, and she's like, oh, you know what? She's the one that sleeps in the dollhouse, isn't she? And one's like, yeah, that is the dumbest thing. Who would sleep in a dollhouse? Like, you're a unicorn. We would all sleep in dollhouses. Yeah, you're right.
And
She's
play
the
with
one-
Barbie.
What, she? Oh yeah, that's right. She can never remember anything. And the one in the back's like, not everything. She's like, oh yeah, the first thing, or was it the last thing? No, and the other one, another one, Fortune is like, no, it's the first thing. Like she can't remember the first creature she sees when she wakes up, or I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, that's Skabatha, and they're just keep rattling away all sorts of stuff. And you got anything you guys want to intercede with? Oh, and they're like, oh, Zobina, right? Zobina, the Prismere. Of Prismere. I'm sorry. Yeah, she got frozen in time. All those three bitches. And they all like, ooh. And I'm about the time like, right, no, they all hate each other. It's hilarious. And they're around. So, is there anything specific you would like to kind of ask? They're just gossiping in all sorts of different.
Do y'all know anything about a
directions.
little pig girl? I mean, a little girl wearing a pig mask?
Oh God. Oh yeah, I've seen.
I've been seeing her going in and out of mirrors. What's up with that?
So let's see. You know what? That's Skabatha's girl, Sow Pig. Yep. A little bitty, pale, gray-skinned girl wearing that little skin mask with a big old lollipop. Just
Where can we find Skabatha?
Dollhouse.
doing the ladies' work.
Where's the dollhouse?
Oh, that one's on the other side. It's in either hither, tither, yeah, whichever one Skabatha's in now. They're always fighting over territory.
Who's
But it kind of, I think it goes with her. I don't know.
who's fighting for territory?
All those three of them witches, right? They hate each other. They always think the other two are trying to get the other over.
Oh.
Where can we find them?
Well,
He
in
just
the
said either or
hither
thither.
and yon. Duh.
They're not just gonna. Y'all have just been the best.
Well, you know, and Bold particularly speaks up. I know.
Oh.
I'd expected pride for that
Any
one.
other, like, you guys are at a wealth of knowledge. Are there any, like, deep dive questions? Because you guys have really been trying to stick it to people and getting turned away.
I think this is the time. What does the coven have against the carnival?
Oh, man. Wow. You're wanting to be here all night, aren't you? Well, I mean, I
I'm
guess.
talking to, I assume, ladies.
Oh, yeah. You know, listen, right? Skabatha, and she looks over at you, and like the one that you fixed the name on. She's like, Skabatha's got yours too. Yeah, the flute thing, right?
No.
It's something like
The
that.
bell.
It's kind of tough. It's been a minute, but and then the one that Delana is looking at, she's like, don't Skabatha have everyone's? And the one next to you goes, no, that's Indolin? Doesn't Indolin
Indolin
have
witch,
hers?
or-
And
They're talking
she
about the
goes,
witches.
Indolin
Well, that's our
Moongrave.
witches.
Right.
Next.
She's got yours. And then finally they're over looking at Dahlberg, and they're like, well, all three of them have got. If two of them have got something, the third one's got to have it. So yours must be that old bitch Balvoria, Balvorna Blightstraw.
Marvona.
Don't say it too loud though, as you hear it in your head, and they all begin weenie and
so
About that time, you guys hear a crack of thunder in the sky as everyone looks up from the real life. And
sugar
everyone
plum.
begins like, ooh, there's no clouds around, but you realize, maybe we might have talked a little bit too much. We'll see if we did next time on Self Critical. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.